Ever wondered what goes down if the market decides to take a nosedive right after you sign those home buying papers? Yep, we're talking about what happens if the market crashes after you buy a house. Buckle up, guys, because in this video, we're diving deep into that scenario. No fluff, no sugarcoating, just the facts you need to know. So picture this. You've finally snagged your dream home, but suddenly the market throws you a curveball. What now? Well, that's exactly what we're here to unpack. From short-term impacts to long-term strategies, we've got you covered. But hey, before we dive in, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button below and join our community of savvy homeowners and future buyers. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on our upcoming tips and insights. All right, let's get down to business. First, let's break it down into short-term versus long-term impact. Short-term? Well, it's like stepping into a storm. Prices might take a hit, and if you're planning to flip that house for a quick profit, you might need to hit the brakes. But fear not, dear viewers, because storms don't last forever. Long-term, though, that's where the real story unfolds. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's an investment in your future. Think of it like planting a tree. Sure, there might be thunderstorms and droughts, but with a bit of tender, loving care, that tree grows tall and strong. Let's take a trip down memory lane to the big crash of 2008. It was like a punch to the gut for homeowners everywhere. But here's the kicker. Those who held onto their homes, rode out the storm, and weathered the ups and downs of the market, they came out on top. The market bounced back stronger than ever, and those homes turned into golden nuggets of equity. So what's the takeaway here? Don't let short-term turbulence throw you off course. Markets have a funny way of bouncing back, and your home's value is likely to follow suit. It's like riding a roller coaster. Scary at first, but once you reach the end, you're ready to go again. Now, I know what you're thinking. Easier said than done, right? It's hard not to panic when the headlines scream doom and gloom. But here's a little secret. When everybody else is running for the hills, that's your cue to stay calm and steady. Take a deep breath, grab a notepad, and start crunching the numbers. Because here's the thing, while a market crash might ruffle some feathers, it's also an opportunity in disguise. Prices dip, sure, but so do interest rates. Suddenly, that dream home of yours becomes a whole lot more affordable. It's like stumbling upon a hidden treasure chest in your backyard. So, my fellow homeowners and future buyers, remember this. Markets may rise and fall, but your home is more than just a number on a screen. It's your sanctuary, your nest egg, your piece of the American dream. So buckle up, stay the course, and keep your eyes on the prize. Because in the grand scheme of things, a market crash is just a blip on the radar. And with a little patience and perseverance, you'll come out stronger on the other side. All right, now let's talk about something super important when it comes to owning a home during a market crash. Patience. I know, it's not the most exciting word, but trust me, it's a game changer. First off, let's get one thing straight. A market crash can be scary. Seeing the value of your home dip might make your heart race a bit. But here's the deal. Housing markets are like roller coasters. They go up, they go down, but over time, they generally trend upwards. So even if things look grim right now, history shows us that markets tend to recover. Now, let's get into why patience is so powerful. When you hold on to your home through the ups and downs, you're giving it a chance to regain its value and maybe even increase beyond what you paid for it. This isn't just a theory, it's backed by data. On average, real estate markets bounce back within a few years. So if you can ride out the rough patches, you'll likely come out on top. But don't just take my word for it. Let's look at an example. Ever heard of Warren Buffett? He's one of the most successful investors of all time. During the 2008 financial crisis, when everyone was panicking and selling off their assets, Buffett did something different. He held on to his investments and even bought more. He knew that markets would recover. And guess what? They did. Big time. By staying patient, Buffett not only protected his wealth, but grew it substantially. Now, you might be thinking, but I'm not Warren Buffett, and that's okay. You don't have to be a financial wizard to understand the benefits of patience. Owning a home isn't just about its market value. It's about having a place to live, a place to build memories. Think about it. Your home is where your life happens. It's where you celebrate birthdays, where your kids take their first steps, where you enjoy quiet Sunday mornings. These are things that don't change with market fluctuations. So what's the takeaway here? Patience isn't just about waiting. It's about understanding the long game. It's about knowing that markets recover and that the value of your home isn't just in its price tag. It's in the life you live there and the stability it provides. To help keep your patience strong, try focusing on the long-term benefits of home ownership. Think about the equity you're building with every mortgage payment. Consider the stability and security of having a place that's truly yours. And remember, you're not alone in this. Many people have faced market downturns and come out stronger on the other side. Now let's get real about your finances. Times might be uncertain, but there are things you can do to beef up your financial safety net. We're talking about building that rainy day fund and trimming the fat off unnecessary expenses. First off, let's talk about that emergency fund. Picture it like a safety blanket for your bank account. Having some cash stashed away for unexpected expenses can be a game changer when the going gets tough. So start squirreling away those dollars, even if it's just a little bit each month. Trust me, your future self will thank you for it. Now, on to cutting those unnecessary expenses. Take a good hard look at your monthly spending and ask yourself, do I really need that daily latte from the fancy coffee shop? Maybe it's time to swap it out for a homemade brew. And are those subscription services adding up? It might be time to trim the fat. Remember, every penny saved is a penny earned, especially when you're bracing for potential financial storms. But hey, we're not done yet. Did you know there could be government programs or mortgage relief options available to help ease the burden? It's worth doing a bit of digging to see what options are out there for your specific situation. You never know what kind of assistance might be available until you ask. And let's not forget about refinancing. Now, I know it might sound intimidating, but hear me out. Refinancing your mortgage could potentially lower your monthly payments, giving you some breathing room in your budget. But here's the catch. You'll want to make sure you're in a good position to refinance. Things like your credit score and how much equity you have in your home can play a big role in your eligibility. Now, finding a good mortgage lender might seem like finding a needle in a haystack, but fear not. We've got some tips and resources to help you navigate the murky waters of refinancing. From comparing rates to reading reviews, we'll make sure you're armed with all the knowledge you need to make the best decision for your financial future. Now, let's talk about something super important, your mortgage. I know, it sounds like a word that should come with a cup of strong coffee, but trust me, understanding your mortgage can make a world of difference, especially if the market takes a nosedive. So what's the deal with mortgages anyway? Well, at its core, a mortgage is just a fancy term for a loan you take out to buy your home. But not all mortgages are created equal. There are a few types you should know about. First up, we have the fixed-rate mortgage. This one's pretty straightforward. You agree to a set interest rate when you get the loan, and that rate stays the same for the entire term of the loan, whether that's 15, 20, or 30 years. The big win here? Your monthly payments are predictable. No surprises. So if you're the kind of person who likes to know exactly what's coming out of your bank account each month, a fixed-rate mortgage is your friend. Now, on the flip side, there's the adjustable rate mortgage, ARM. This one starts with a lower interest rate for a few years, usually 5, 7, or 10. But here's the catch. After that initial period, the rate can change, typically once a year. The changes depend on the current interest rates, which means your payments could go up or down. ARMs can be a bit of a roller coaster, especially if rates rise, but they can be a good option if you plan to move or refinance before the adjustable period kicks in. Speaking of interest rates, have you ever wondered how they impact your mortgage? If rates go up and you have an ARM, your monthly payment could increase, sometimes by quite a bit. If you've locked in a fixed rate, you're golden. You won't feel the pinch of rising rates. Now let's talk about something else that's super crucial, equity. Equity is basically the part of your home that you truly own. Think of it like this. If your home is worth $300,000 and you still owe $200,000 on your mortgage, you have $100,000 in equity. When the market is down, your equity might shrink because your home's value drops. But unless you're selling right away, it's more of a paper loss than a real one. Just hang tight, and your equity could bounce back when the market does. And here's a quick tip. If you ever feel like your mortgage is too much to handle, don't ignore the problem. Reach out to your lender. They might be able to help you with loan modification options. This can mean lowering your interest rate or extending your loan term to make the payments more manageable. Remember, understanding your mortgage isn't just about knowing your monthly payment. It's about knowing how the type of mortgage you choose can affect you in good times and bad, and what options you have if things get tough. So take a moment to really get to know your mortgage. It's worth it. All right, let's talk about refinancing. Sounds fancy, right? But don't worry, we'll break it down into plain and simple terms. So what exactly is refinancing? Think of it like giving your mortgage a makeover. You're basically swapping out your current loan for a new one with better terms that could potentially save you some dough. Now, why would you want to refinance? Well, picture this. Interest rates have dropped since you first got your mortgage. By refinancing, you could snag a lower rate, which means lower monthly payments. Sounds pretty sweet, huh? But hold your horses, because refinancing isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. There are a few things to consider before diving in head first. First up, your credit score. Yep, lenders are going to take a peek at that magic number before they hand over the keys to a new loan. So if your score has taken a hit since you got your original mortgage, you might not qualify for the best rates. Next on the checklist, home equity. This is basically the difference between what your home is worth and how much you owe on it. The more equity you've built up, the better your chances of snagging a killer refinance deal. It's like having more skin in the game, you know? Now let's talk about the nitty-gritty of the refinancing process. First, you'll need to shop around for a lender. Think of it like shopping for a new pair of kicks. You want to find the perfect fit. Look for a lender who offers competitive rates and has a solid reputation. And hey, don't be afraid to ask questions. This is a big decision, so you want to make sure you're fully informed. Once you've found the right lender, it's time to get the ball rolling. You'll need to gather up some paperwork, think tax returns, pay stubs, and bank statements. Yeah, it's a bit of a hassle, but trust me, it'll be worth it in the end. Now, here's the fun part, crunching the numbers. Your lender will help you figure out how much you could potentially save by refinancing. And let me tell you, seeing those savings add up can be pretty darn satisfying. But wait, there's more. Before you sign on the dotted line, make sure you understand all the terms of your new loan. Pay close attention to things like closing costs and prepayment penalties. You don't want any surprises popping up down the road. Remember, it's not always the right move for everyone, but for some people, it can be a game changer. Be sure to do your homework, crunch the numbers, and weigh your options carefully. All right, buckle up, because here's where things get really interesting. You might think a market crash is all doom and gloom, but hold on to your hats, because there are some unexpected benefits that might just surprise you. First off, picture this. Your family or friends who've been dreaming of owning a home but were held back by sky-high prices? Well, guess what? A market crash could be their golden ticket. Suddenly, homes become more affordable, opening doors to home ownership that were previously closed tight. It's like the real estate market saying, "Come on in, we've got room for everyone." And hey, if you've been a long-time renter, now's your time to shine. Think about it. With prices dipping, buying a home might be within reach sooner than you thought. No more throwing money into the rent pit. Now you can start building equity in your own place. It's like taking a step closer to financial freedom with every mortgage payment. But wait, there's more. Let's talk about property taxes. Now, I know taxes aren't exactly anyone's favorite topic, but bear with me here. After a market crash, some areas might see a decrease in property taxes. Yep, you heard that right. So not only could you snag a great deal on a home, but you might also catch a break on those pesky taxes. It's like getting a bonus on top of your savings. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do I find these hidden gems? Well, it's all about doing your homework. Keep an eye on the market trends, stay connected with real estate agents, and don't be afraid to explore different neighborhoods. You never know where you might find your dream home at a dream price. And here's the cherry on top. A market crash could spur on some much-needed changes in the housing market. Think about it. When prices skyrocket, it can feel like home ownership is slipping further and further away. But a crash? That's a wake-up call for the powers that be. It's a chance to reassess and make housing more accessible for everyone. So not only are you benefiting from a more affordable market, but you're also contributing to a positive shift in the housing landscape. Talk about a win-win. Well, there you have it, guys. What happens if the market crashes after you buy a house? Remember, knowledge is power, and with the right strategies in place, you can weather any storm. Be sure to hit that like button if you found this video helpful, and don't forget to subscribe for more tips on home ownership and financial savvy. Until next time, take care.